Hello there and welcome to this week's episode of Eye on Port. It is proudly brought to you by West Blue Consulting, Ghana Oil Company Limited, GOIL, whom we have to thank all the time because wherever we go, it's all about GOIL. Also, Ghana Community Network Services, GCNet. And we have to say a big thank you to also our proud media partners, Business and Financial Times, for always getting our back. Ghana Web as well. People, this week we are coming to you all the way from the Dakola border. That's supposed to be the border when you are coming from Burkina Faso to Ghana. The Ghana side is called the Paga border, but the Burkina side is the Dakola border. That's where we're coming to you from. That's because we are focusing our attention this week in Burkina Faso. The players in the international trade business of our country, Ghana, stormed Burkina Faso this week. And why is that so? Because they are trying to tell the government of Burkina Faso and the good people of Burkina Faso to continue to use the good ports that we have in Ghana. The Port Authority and its allied agencies and companies have just concluded a week-long trade mission to Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso. The trade mission, which was organized by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, is part of the Acting Director General of GPHA, Paul Asariansen's initiatives aimed at attracting the transit business to Ghana's ports and make the port of Ghana a trade hub in the sub-region. The delegation, which was led by the board chairman of GPHA, Peter McMenu, comprised the Acting Director General of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Paul Asariansa, the Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Shippers Authority, Benonita Bismarck, Director of TEMA Port, Edward Osei, General Manager of Corporate Affairs and Marketing of GPHA, Esther Jebidonko, and other managers of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, terminal operators and service providers at Ghana's ports. Ghana's Port Authority believes that by embarking on such trade mission, it will be able to increase its transit traffic significantly in 2018 and the years ahead. The business delegation paid one-on-one visit to major importers and exporters in Burkina Faso, like Grand Molins, importers of bulk flour.
We have come to listen to find solutions so that the business between Ghana and Burkina will grow and continue to grow.
At CITA, the leading importer of steel and coils in Burkina Faso, the chairman of the company was full of praises for Ghana's ports.
Why at the same price, at the same cost, they come to you? Because you're faster, you're more customer oriented. Look at all this delegation, because you don't forget the customer.
He assured that he will personally encourage other leading importers in Mali and Niger to use Ghana's ports.
Number 3 is Profel. Number 4 is Citasi. And even Simmetal. They all go through TEMA. Only Aj is because he has configured his system. So you are very well positioned to take advantage of the new opportunities and new growth in the area.
He also encouraged Ghana's ports to seize the opportunity and capture the exportation of cotton in Burkina Faso, since that country is the leading producer of cotton in Africa.
90% of our cotton used to go to TEMA in 2004, 5. Yes, So that corridor is fine-tuned. You don't need to attract them. If they got scared because of the tax, but that's I guess you can do something about this.
The delegation also called on Canis Commodities, owners of Simfaso, a cement producing company. Canis also imports bulk rice and clinker. Here, Canis applauded Ghana ports for being customer friendly and assured that they will continue to use Ghana's ports.
Parce que tout ça, on envisage de passer aussi côté industriel, nos matières premières, on est en train d'envisager de voir comment passer cela, soit par TEMA ou par Takoradi.
Sector also we are considering importing our goods either through TEMA or Takoradi for the industrial sector.
They said they had just imported 20,000 tons of rice through TEMA port and has 10,000 tons more coming. But someone was persuading them to try Abidjan. But with the visit by the delegation, there is no way they are going to use any other port but Ghana.
Peut-être même la moitié des volumes pour passer par le Ghana, ça nous arrangerait.
So what we do currently is that we are using the ports of Lomé and Abidjan But it would have been, we believe it would have been better for us, even if only 50% of our goods pass through the ports of Tema.
The delegation also met the Transport Association of Burkina Faso, called OTRAF. The OTRAF members had a number of concerns, including the illegal charging of 10,000 CFA by agents or GORO boys at the borders of Ghana.
On doit payer 70 000 francs pour traverser.
At Paga, any truck crossing by has to pay 10,000 francs CFA.
The Director General assured them that he will petition customs on their behalf for that activity to be scrapped.
10,000 CFA that is paid at the Paga border.
En ce qui concerne les 10 000 francs que vous payez à la frontière de Paga,
I think we have spoken about this several times in the past.
On en a parlé plusieurs fois, plusieurs reprises, on en a parlé.
And the Customs Commissioner at a certain point gave the order to the Paga Customs not to encourage this.
The delegation then met with the customs of Burkina Faso, where the commissioner of the Burkina Bay Customs requested for a lot more integration and coordination with Ghana's customs. He also requested that Ghana consider some of its border procedures, as some of them appear repetitive.
So we should be able to integrate all that
et adapter nos procédures
and then adapt procedures
de telle sorte que vraiment il y ait de la facilitation,
which could facilitate
la simplification,
simplify
nos procédures,
our procedures.
voilà, pour accompagner.
The delegation also met the Burkina Shippers Council, where some concerns were tabled for Ghana to consider, including a plea for customs to review the 7-day free period transit truck can stay on the corridors of Ghana, after which they are charged 1,000 Ghana cedis penalty for overstay.
De mise en route les 7 jours pour traverser la frontière.
So this day we recently also received a note from the Ghanaian port about a 7 days period of transit customs. Yes, from the customs we received a note from the on the 7-day period of transit.
The General Manager of Corporate Affairs and Marketing of GPHA, who is also in charge of the transit trade in the port, Esther Jibidonko, assured them the Port Authority will consider their concerns.
Since last year, September, when we started the terminal,
depuis septembre l'an passé, quand nous avons commencé avec cette affaire de terminal,
the transit operators don't pay any money to MPS.
Donc les transitaires ne payent plus rien à MPS.
They pay only to the Port Authority.
Ils ne payent uniquement aux autorités portières.
So the double handling payment has become one.
Donc le double paiement de manutention est devenu un seul paiement.
So if our importers and exporters here are not having that impact,
donc si cette décision ne se reflète pas au niveau de nos importateurs, nos exportateurs burkinabés,
then it means that the clearing and forwarding agents who are representing them are not telling them something.
The business delegation met the Burkina Chamber of Commerce, the Burkina Ministries of Trade, as well as Transport, and called on the Ghana Embassy in Burkina Faso, where the delegation was advised on ensuring that transit documents at Ghana's ports are less complicated. Aside the delegation meeting the state agencies and also meeting the business community, there was a big one, and the big one was a huge forum that was held at the Laiko Hotel in Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso, that brought all the stakeholders who do business in Burkina Faso together to listen to their concerns and attempt to address most of the concerns they have. At the end of a successful 3-day business-to-business engagement with government agencies and private businesses, including importers and exporters in Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority held a commercial forum for the business community in Ouagadougou. The forum, which brought together importers and exporters, transport operators, truck owners and drivers, freight forwarders, Burkina Faso Shippers Council, Burkina Chambers of Commerce, wholesalers and retailers, and so on, aimed to obtain concerns of the business community in Burkina Faso and also assure them of measures put in place by Ghana's Port Authority to address them. The Director General of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, who was supported by the Commissioner of Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Shippers Authority, the Commander of the Marine Police Unit at the TEMA Port, and other terminal managers operating in Ghana's ports, who himself was the Port Authority's trade representative in Burkina Faso, at some point said it had always been his passion to step up the trade relations between Ghana and the Sahelian countries, particularly Burkina Faso. And as Director General of Ghana's Port Authority, he will ensure that all is done to see such vision realized.
We are here in our numbers to strengthen the relationship and the partnership we have shared for so many years, to move the economic aspirations of our countries forward beyond where we have come to meet it.
Paul Asariansa assured the Burkinabe business community that he has been in talks with all relevant agencies in Ghana, including Customs, Police, Shippers Authority, and Ghana Maritime Authority, and has secured their support to boost the transit business.
We want to conduct our business with your interest as a paramount concern to us, to be sure that doing business through the Ghanaian corridor becomes a very pleasurable experience.
He disclosed that within the sub-region, Ghana's port is considered the most efficient and safest, which is widely attested by stakeholders. However, the recent port reforms that has been embarked upon in Ghana, including the paperless system, the joint agency inspection, and the removal of customs barriers, have elevated Ghana's ports above its competitors.
Some of the developments that have taken place in Ghana to make sure that we position ourselves to meet your needs include what we call the paperless transaction. In the past, people were complaining about extortion in the port processes, delays in the port processes. Today, the Customs, Port Authority and other actors have adopted what we call the guichet unique that ensures paperless transaction.
Highlighting the current state of Ghana's ports, the General Manager in charge of Corporate Affairs and Marketing of GPHA, Esther Jebidonko, said Ghana's ports have received significant facelift to improve its clearance procedures.
Our new transit terminal, it used to be a transit truck park, and we were handling the transit deliveries in the port. But now we have refurbished it into a full terminal, and we have all the stakeholders at the place, ensuring that we are able to clear the cargo for you in good time.
The business community called for GPHA to intervene in removing the $200 tax that Ghana charges on transit goods, among other challenges.
Les taxes du port, les pénalités, si je veux dire, $80, je pense, par jour.
The Burkinabe business community also complained about police harassment on the transit corridor and called for GPHA to spearhead the streamlining of international driver licenses and the right truckload-worthy license required by Ghana for transit transportation of goods. The participants at the forum also called for GPHA to engage customs to eliminate the GORO boys at the Paga border, who charge a legal fee of 10,000 CFA to facilitate the inspection and stamping of their documents by customs. The business community also requested that the stakeholders review the 7 days ultimatum by customs that the truck has to stay in the Ghanaian corridor or pay 1,000 Ghana cedis penalty when overstays.
We are saying that at least by 7 days, you should be able to leave the transit yard and back to Burkina Faso. So if after 7 days you are still around, then the penalty kicks in. It means every day you have to pay 1,000 cedis or 700,000 CFA. The reason why we are doing this is that other places who are also using the transit corridor use this period to look for marketing and then try to divert the goods into home consumption.
The leaders of the delegation addressed the challenges and affirmed their commitment to resolving those that can be fixed to create a business-friendly environment for the transit trade to thrive in the sub region.
We have listened to the Chamber of Commerce. We have listened to individual importers. We have listened to you who are our customers, and we promise you, as the Director General said, that we will take all your suggestions and concerns very seriously, and we will work on them immediately we go back.
And all these business-to-business meetings happened, the forums also happened, and a number of issues emerged, different kinds, and indeed the delegation resolved to address some of them. And indeed, they did resolve some of them. One of them that includes the 10,000 safer that's being collected at the border. For instance, anytime you get to the truckers get to the border here, there are some intermediaries who call themselves agents. They collect 10,000 cedis and 10,000 safer, and then liaise between the truckers as well as the custom people. The custom commissioner as well as the delegations took action on this particular one. The Commissioner of Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Isaac Krentzel, has ordered that all intermediary transactions between agents or those often called GORO boys at the borders of Ghana and custom officers should cease. The agents or GORO boys at the Ghana-Burkina Faso borders hitherto charged an amount of 10,000 CFA for posing as middlemen between custom officers and transit truck drivers or traders, only to collect their documents and send to customs for inspection and subsequent stamping. Isaac Krentzel gave the order when he paid an unannounced visit to the Paga-Dakola border with support from the Director General of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Paul Asariansa, the Director of TEMA Port, Edward Osei, the Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Shippers Authority, Benonita Bismarck, General Manager Corporate Affairs and Marketing of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Esther Jibidonko, and GPHA's representative to Burkina Faso, David Songotu, to assess activities at the border and confirms some of the unwarranted practices there by the business community in Burkina Faso when the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority took the initiative to engage them in the capital of Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou. The Commissioner of Customs expressed belief that the services offered by the agents or GORO boys are needless, since the drivers could easily deal with officers without any difficulties.
Going forward, we are going to put notices at the various advantage points in Paga here, Konongogo, Amele, wherever the trucks pass to Burkina Faso and then beyond, that henceforth all the transporters should deal with customs.
With this intervention from the Commissioner of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, no trader or truck driver will pay this 10,000 CFA, which had been there since time immemorial. Director General of GPHA, Paul Asariansa, who has always advocated for the abolishment of the illegal payment, said he is optimistic removing such bottlenecks on the transit corridors will grow the transit business between Ghana and its landlocked neighbors.
This problem of extortion from the drivers has been lingering for more than 10 years. But as I'm saying, it is refreshing to have this level of renewed commitment leading to not just focusing on what we heard, but following up to this place to give directives to the customs to ensure that they do not encourage any intermediary activities.
The Director General of GPHA, however, allayed fears that the stoppage of the GORO boys menace at the borders will lead to loss of jobs. He said the development will rather increase the transit trade and create other avenues of employment for the youth.
We are not putting out those who are engaged in it, we are not putting them out of business, but we are going to grow other areas that will enable them engage in legitimate business.
The Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Shippers Authority, Benonita Bismarck, expressed optimism that the move by the Commissioner of Customs will go a long way to make Ghana's corridors attractive to the transit trade.
Within this short time, we've been able to resolve one main issue that a lot of them complained about, which is the taking of the 10,000 safer, which is impeding the development of the transit trade.
Management of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, like other trade facilitating organizations like the USAID and Borderless Alliance, applauded customs for taking such a bold step to scrap the GORO boys' menace and illegal charging of 10,000 CFA.
What was interesting for me was how the little obstacles, which by itself looks like nothing, amounts to a hole that prevents trade.
As trivial as people will consider this particular issue of the drivers paying 10,000 CFA per truck, it is the fact that they have been complaining, and this has sent some of them away from our port. So the fact that it's been taken off, it's good news. It's going to increase the traffic that we handle in the port.
I'm so excited because for the first time an action has taken immediately after a whole forum has been taking place, a whole lot of complaints. In fact, this particular 10,000 CFA, it's not today. It's been for some time now. And for this action to take place and stop it immediately, I'm so hilarious.
Additionally, a number of interventions have been held. We will be reporting on all of them in the next episode of Eye on Port. In the meantime, we return after the break.
When cleaning your vehicle by valeting, steaming, waxing or polishing, make sure the engine is also sound. Servicing your vehicle with GORO synthetic oil and any quality GORO oil massages the engine, removes deposit, protects it from wear and tear for longer lasting performance, and makes your vehicle feel pampered. Made for diesel and super engines. Remember, after every 15,000 kilometers of enjoying your ride, service your engine with GORO synthetic oil.
We are a champion. That's why I, Azuma Nelson, 3 times world boxing champion and a patriot, always choose GORO.
Ashene Pankasa. GORO, good energy.
Utiliser les ports de TEMA et de Takoradi, c'est avoir un traitement rapide et sécurisé de vos marchandises diverses en conteneurs, en sac ou en vrac, ainsi que tous vos véhicules en transit. Le Ghana a construit un parking bien pavé pour tous les véhicules en transit. Une nouvelle gare frigorifique pour le stockage de la marchandise congelée en transit. Avec un nouveau centre de traitement de données construit et la mise en œuvre efficace d'un guichet unique national qui permet aux données d'être accessibles par tous les intervenants, le traitement des dossiers dans les ports du Ghana est maintenant efficace et plus efficient. Utiliser les ports du Ghana, c'est profiter des systèmes de portes électroniques et d'exploitation des terminaux ainsi que de la réservation des navires en ligne, entraînant ainsi un parc de camions fiable pour un acheminement de vos marchandises dans les brefs délais avec un suivi satellitaire jusqu'à nos frontières.
Les femmes, à vous les honneurs.
Les ports de TEMA et de Takoradi célèbrent la femme. Que les bienfaits de cette célébration apportent plus de bénédictions.
Welcome back from the break. Still watching Eye on Port, and we are live here at the Dakola border in Burkina Faso. Just by it is the Paga border, where we are telling you that indeed Ghana is bracing itself to grab the transit business from Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso. News and activities happening in and around the ports and maritime industry, aside whatever happened in Burkina Faso next.
Meridian Port Services has awarded the second largest contract in the ongoing TEMA Port Expansion Project for land and civil works worth $120 million. The contract was awarded to a consortium formed by Eiffage Genie Civil, which is the 5th largest construction company in Europe and 12th largest in the world. At the signing ceremony held in TEMA, the CEO of MPS, Mohamed Samara, outlined details of the agreement, which he said encompasses the complete design, procurement, delivery and construction, testing and commissioning of paving and utility works, including earthworks, fencing, gates, drainage system, water distribution network, IT and communication ducting, and all other ancillary buildings.
The contract is about paving and utilities and plumbing, everything, from water, sewer, electric, fiber optic, as well as the finished product, the bus bars and energizing offices, cranes, the whole lot, as well as the various buildings that you have to build, including gates and various other ancillary buildings. The execution of this project is 28 months, and we would like to have it in 27 months.
He added that EFAG will commence works on January next year, with the whole project expected to last 28 months. On his part, Christian Combs, Director for Africa of EFAG, assured that his company has satisfactorily demonstrated to the MPS Port Project team that EFAG had sufficient design and construction experience to successfully deliver the project on time for the first container operations in June 2019.
We are happy to have won that contract, and we will be even much more happy to give you satisfaction in 28 months from now.
The French ambassador, His Excellency Francois Pujolas, who was a special guest at the ceremony, commended the Ghana-Europe relations in the area of commerce. He reiterated that it was essential for the Ghanaian government to create such an enabling environment for private foreign investors.
I must say that we are enjoying a very in-depth, I would say, cooperation with the Ghanaian authorities as far as the security and in particular the fight against terrorism is concerned.
Charles Saki, head of engineering for Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, highlighted the cordial relationship between MPS and GPHA and recalled similar works that had been done by MPS on its existing terminal.
This utility aspects of the project, which is about to take off, is being something to the heart of GPHA.
Ghana is one of Malaysia's biggest trading partners, with the total trade between the two countries registering $337 million in 2016. Recent reports show significant growth of Malaysian palm oil imports into Ghana. Available data shows that in just the first 3 quarters of 2017, Ghana imported 213,000 tons of palm oil from Malaysia, valued at $149.1 million and representing more than 70% of total imports of the commodities within the period. To consolidate these gains, the Malaysian Palm Oil Council, MPOC, an organization that promotes the market expansion of Malaysian palm oil and its products, says it sees the Ghanaian market as a growing one and is targeting even more exports. Speaking at the maiden Malaysia-Ghana Palm Oil Trade Fair and Seminar in Accra, the chairman of MPOC stated that since statistics predicts that Ghana is poised to grow in palm oil consumption, Malaysia is interested in partnering with Ghana to actualize its palm oil export potential.
Last year, out of the 290,000 tons of palm oil imported into Ghana, 202,000 tons is contributed by Malaysia. So it's quite a big share. And this year, for Malaysian palm oil to Ghana, already just 9 months. Just 9 months is we have already Ghana has already imported 213,000 tons of palm oil. So it shows a very good growth.
Ghana's foremost oil marketing company, NCIMG Petroleum Company of the Year, GORO, has engaged its stakeholders and consumers on precautionary measures when using its fuel. Currently, GORO does rigorous testing and quality assurance program to ensure that quality fuel delivered to customers are closely monitored from the loading depots to the service station of the whole supply chain. Some safety tips shared included the fact that in the calibration process, underground tank is mostly suitable, sealing of hatches and valve security seals, checking expiry date of fire extinguishers, as well as ensuring their availability before offloading. Stakeholders were also tasked to ensure that no tanker leaves the engine on while offloading fuel. The zonal manager of TEMA Zone, Joseph Adongo, said the engagement was to appreciate the continued support from loyal customers and also refresh them on certain hazards they need to look out for and the various means of handling them.
The importance of this workshop is to educate and get the people to understand the product, because that is extremely important. There's no point trying to sell a product to somebody when the person doesn't understand what the product actually is. So that is the key thing, to let them understand what the product is, and based on that, then they can handle it better, and together we grow. Because once they understand the product, they use it well, they would come back again and buy, and then we too will grow along with them.
Some of the participants said the program is extremely useful and particularly timely in the wake of growing concerns for safety in oil and gas stations, and promised to adhere to all safety tips learned.
When cleaning your vehicle by valeting, steaming, waxing or polishing, make sure the engine is also sound. Servicing your vehicle with Gold synthetic oil and any quality Gold oil massages the engine, removes deposit, protects it from wear and tear for longer lasting performance, and makes your vehicle feel pampered. Made for diesel and super engines. Remember, after every 15,000 kilometers of enjoying your ride, service your engine with Gold synthetic oil.
You are a champion. That's why I, Azuma Nelson, 3 times world boxing champion and a patriot, always choose GORO.
Ashene Pankasa. Goil, good energy.
Well, next up are schedules of vessels that are sitting in the port and are bringing those transit cargoes, as well as those that are at anchorage and those expected in the coming week, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rates that you need to clear your goods, including the transit goods, are all next on your screens. So we've been getting a lot of concerns and we've been trying to resolve as many of them as we can. We pass them through the Shippers Authority, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, the Customs and everyone, and they have all been helpful in bringing resolution to most of the concerns you have. So we encourage you to continue to send them in via the addresses you see on the screens. Next up are some of them. Please, my name is Michael Safo and I am an agent from TEMA Port, and I want to speak to you about taking over agents from the border checkpoints. I want to ask that if an outstanding document comes out, is the driver going to be responsible or the agency from TEMA? I ask this because we had a letter from our agents from PAGA asking them to stop working for the various companies and hand them to drivers to work. The challenge is that sometimes the cars will even cross the borders, but still customs will ask you to bring out a copy as evidence before you will be allowed to pass a new entry. So please, you people should help us. A driver has to pay 1,000 Ghana cedis for overstay penalty per day. Please go and see for yourself the number of cars parked at the border. Please, we hope you first start with this because these are some of the things that discourages importers. Even before you get to the Burkina police, a distance from the Ghana border, you, the driver, has to pay 5,000 CFA for him to check if the document you have is correct. The one to open the border gate will also take 1,000 CFA, and the last gate man before you enter Burkina Customs will also take 2,000 CFA before you park your truck. I believe these are the things we need to check. Well, Michael, Customs says they are not stopping your agents from doing your work for you, but if they are indeed your agents, then you should be the one to pay them for working for you and not charge 10,000 CFA from the poor transit driver for service that keep you in business. They say that indeed all the other charges you talked about are being reviewed, and those that need termination, like the 10,000 CFA, will be scrapped. Again, the Port Authority hopes that with the removal of such illegal payments, the transit trade will increase and your agency job will expand. So no fears for unemployment at all, Michael. That's it for this week's episode of Eye on Port that came to you all the way from the Ouagadougou, the Burkina capital, Ouagadougou, and also coming to you live from the Dakola border in Burkina Faso. We hope we have been able to bring the port's activities closer to you and also you closer to the port. Thank you for watching the program, and thanks as always to my able crew. Robert Nyantechi is behind the camera, Godwin Kabute, Solomon Anderson, Joe Lavo, Joe Bone, Flavia Muesi, Grace Achirako, Portia Bura, also Belinda and Lawrence. The executive producers of this program are Bina Sewa Opokufusu and my own Madam Esther Jebidonko.